Hi, I'm Paris and I am revisiting the controversial storm glass. I reviewed this about a month ago, explained how it was supposed to work, mentioned that I would be keeping track of how well this could predict local weather here based on the subjective analysis of what the crystals in this little glass container are doing. I posted some updates on how well it was predicting the local weather on our Instagram account at EpicReviewGuyz. But most days in the winter here are clear and dry, and it showed clear and dry. But then when the rain came, the thunderstorms came, the winds came, it still showed the exact same thing. And in the month since I posted my storm glass video, I've had comments from people telling me, yeah, my storm glass, I got one for Christmas, didn't do anything either. And other people telling me I'm doing it wrong. So today I'm going to play scientist, do a few experiments, see if I can figure out what it is that makes the crystals form and disappear, and whether that has anything to do with what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Epic Review Guys.
If you missed my original video explaining the history of the storm glass and how people say it's worked for them, I'll link to that at the end of this video. But as a quick summary, this technology is about 250 years old. In the sealed glass container, there's a combination of liquids that can form cloudy crystals, or under other conditions, the liquid will become completely clear. The question is, what are those conditions? I picked up this storm glass for about $25 on Amazon. You can find out more about it at the link down below this video. So what are the observable characteristics of weather, not including pictures from satellites in space or hurricane hunter aircraft, just sitting at a ground station? What can you observe that will give you a reliable indication of what weather will be coming over the next day or two? Do the clouds or the wind affect this? I don't think so. Barometric pressure, well, the older models of this, as I understand it, actually had a stopper in them. So there was some chance for pressure to be a factor, but this is a completely sealed glass bulb, so the pressure out here shouldn't be affecting anything going on inside the glass. That leaves us with humidity and temperature. Again, humidity is not going to get inside the glass, but temperature, aha, that could certainly affect whether the crystals form or dissolve. In fact, a commenter on my previous video told me that I was doing it wrong, that you need to clear the liquid. You need to take a blow dryer or something and heat it up so that the crystals all disappear and you just have clear liquid. Then you put it in a location in your house and then it can start to determine what the upcoming weather is going to be. Now the amount that you see in there, that's about how much there's been since day one. It's currently 72 degrees here in this room, and I would say the temperature has pretty much stayed between 69 and 74 over the past month. Not a lot of variation. So to test this out, I will go and get a blow dryer, heat it up, see what temperature it gets to inside in order for the crystals to completely dissolve, then take a visit to the refrigerator and see what happens then. It's currently 70 degrees in the room. Since I am going to be heating up this collection of chemicals, I don't know exactly what effect that will have. I have my safety glasses that I've pulled out of my Mel chemistry supply set. Wonder if this is what my hairstylist feels like working on my hair. Going on 15 minutes now. I think I'm seeing less in the way of crystals, so very slowly dissolving into solution. The temperature of the crystals, 112 degrees Fahrenheit. And about 40 minutes now of lots of swirling and heating. The liquid inside is about 130 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't think the blow dryer can get it any warmer than that. Most of the crystals have disappeared. There's one big chunk that won't go away, but I think I've reached, for this temperature, the maximum level of saturation of the crystals into the solution. What that means is, this is kind of hot, is this is about as clear as it's going to get. It's a little bit cloudy and there's still a few flakes at the bottom. I imagine another 10 or 15 degrees higher temperature and I might be able to get it completely clear, but I'm going to go with this for now. I'm going to leave it for a bit to cool down and see if the crystals reform right away. This is about 10 minutes after I stopped heating it. The temperature's down to about 110 Fahrenheit now, and it's got this very strange, milky, cloudy appearance. This is about 45 minutes after my last update. The temperature right now of the crystals It's about 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and if anything, there are more now than there ever were before. It's the next morning now, 12 hours later. You can see that the crystals have reformed and pretty much filled the glass container. I think to get it back to how it was originally, I'll need to shake it around a little like it was in shipping. The crystals are sort of fluffy right now, but with some agitation, they'll break down into smaller pieces, and I think they'll settle down to the bottom half of the liquid. Well, a couple hours after shaking it quite a bit, I seem to have created a slurry, and it's not going back into crystals that settle down to the bottom. And it's 24 hours later, another day has gone by. Finally, there's some settling out of the crystals, and you can see the clear liquid at the top. So I'm going to take it very gently, without stirring it up hopefully, put it in the refrigerator. When it gets down to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, we'll take another look. Should be down to about 40 degrees now. 42, okay. I see some more crystals up at the top, but not a lot of difference from how it was before. So here's my best guess about what's going on with the storm glass. I believe it is temperature that controls the crystals, but my guess is there's a certain temperature range that you really see the biggest amount of crystals appearing or disappearing, say between 50 degrees Fahrenheit and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That's why dropping from 70 down to 42 degrees, there's some more crystals, but really it didn't change nearly as much as when I had it up at 130 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was pretty much just that cloudy, milky liquid, and that turned into crystals when it came back down to 70. So I don't think this is magically predicting the weather any more than a thermometer predicts the weather, which here in central Texas, when there's a sudden drop in temperature, that does indicate that we have a cold front coming through. Usually it gets cloudy, it rains, sometimes there's thunder. So the change in the crystals with the sudden drop in temperature, where presumably the liquid would get full of crystals and get kind of cloudy, and oh look, now it's cloudy and it's rainy, kind of seems to correlate. But I think that's a regional thing. In some places, a sudden drop in temperature may not mean that it's going to get cloudy and rainy. Also, if you live in Antarctica, probably you'll never see any change in the crystals. Or if you live somewhere very tropical, it'll always be clear or it'll always be full of crystals. The places that the storm glass appears to be predicting the weather are going to be places that have a lot of temperature fluctuation in the range that causes these crystals to change. But I could be wrong. Does this work for you? Do you know something about it that I don't know? Please feel free to tell me in the comments down below. I am willing to be swayed. If you're still interested in picking up one of these, you can find out more about it at the link down below this video. See you on the next review.